What up nerds? My name's Colin, Mr. Swirly Ice Keef, and welcome back. Today we're going to solder the Bluetooth RC car vehicle. You may have already seen the remote one, I did that one first. So the vehicle is a little bit more complicated than the remote. The troubling part is this guy right here. This is the motor driver, and it is an extremely small package, so please be very careful when you solder that one. As we're going to see for the Atmega MCU, and the motor driver, we're actually probably going to bridge some of the pins, and that'll be fine. We'll show how to fix that later. However, be very cautious, especially for the motor driver, because if you get some on the exposed pad and it bridges with the outer pins, it'll be really hard to check that you have a mistake and then fix it. So like I always say, when you're soldering, just always get it right the first time, and then you don't have to worry about it. However, it takes a lot of practice, and generally it doesn't work. Alright, so let's get started. As we did last time, not required, but recommended if you have it. We're going to use the flex pen to clean the board. We're going to refill all the surface mount components the first time, except for the crystal. And the reason we're doing that is because the crystal is pretty sensitive to heat. So we'll do everything around it, and then we'll solder the crystal immediately after, but just by itself. There is a small mistake on my part, and that is there's supposed to be an exposed pad here under the 6-volt regulator. So if you see another version that's probably Rev 5 or higher that has an exposed pad, then you're going to want to actually put a little bit of solder there, similar to the motor driver here where it has an exposed pad, just for a heads up. Cool, so let us get started then. So first we'll apply solder paste all over this guy. I'll do the Atmega. So this one I could probably do without bridging as well, but just to kind of illustrate the point, I'll do what I usually do for most of my controllers that are this closely spaced. Good, so pretty much what you're aiming for is a very thin line across. I'm gonna do the voltage regulator next, 6-volt reg. Cool, and then just the motor driver. Alright, so this one's a toughie. When in doubt, put less solder. We can almost always add more. So I'll put a tiny little bit just on the exposed pad, kind of in the center. Definitely not enough to spread around, but when we actually place the IC, it'll spread it around a bit. And then just like we did for the Atmega or the IMU, a very, very thin line if possible of solder across the pins. And then we hope that that is good enough. Check it out. It might bridge. I mean, I plan on it bridging, and we will fix that in a video. Cool. So that's it for getting the solder paste on there. Next, we're gonna do the pick and place.